Good evening and welcome to Timberborn. We are playing on the experimental and we are going to do a brand new little challenge that I've quite literally just made up in my head a little while ago because, well, I've been thinking about this for a little while and I don't know if it's going to work, but we're going to give it a try. So what we're going to do is we're going to play a new game. I'm going to play with the folktales because they've had some changes to their storages. We are on experimental. This has got all the new storage changes, so we'll see how it goes. We're going to play on... what map should we play on? Let's play on waterfalls. Let's play on waterfalls. I don't know if this is going to work or not for this one. But we're going to play with a custom difficulty. And this difficulty is going to be... I don't know if it's going to work or not, basically. I'm going to leave everything as default, so it's basically playing on normal. But we're going to change our durations for our weather. So we're going to go with 10 days of temperate weather. So we know there's going to be exactly 10 days. And then we're going to go with 100 days of drought, which would kill us. So we're going to set the handicap to 100% for 10 cycles. And what this will do is it will take our drought duration and it will take away a percentage from it for the first 10 cycles. But every cycle after the first one, it actually takes away less of the percentage. So the first one will be 100%, so it'll be, well, it should be 0 days, but it won't be because I think 3 days is the minimum. I think it might be 0, we'll find out. But then the next dry cycle will be 10 days because it will drop this by a certain amount. It will drop because it's 10 cycles. So by the time the 10th cycles come along, we'll be at 0 handicap. So it will be 100 days. So the first one will be 0, the second one should be 10, then 20, then 30, and so on and so forth, up to 100 days. And we'll see whether we can survive this. I don't know if we can. I've just literally made this up, and I felt like doing something completely random. So let's begin. Okay, so the very first thing we need to do is name our settlement, and I think I'm going to call this... we're going to call this 10100. Well, 10100. Yeah, because we got 10 days of wet and 100 days of drought. So, well, okay. And this is the waterfalls map, which I don't remember. It's a fairly small map, 128 by 128. Quite nice. There's some metal over here. There's some scrap here. There's a bit of starting area here. So we have options to do things. We can get some water in here to get some lovely farmland over here. We're going to have to dam over this to get going on here. So the first thing I do is what I do with every game. I'm going to bring up the cheat menu and I'm going to turn off Skyfog, because I always do that because I feel the game looks better without it. And that's the only cheating I'm going to do throughout the whole game. Because we play these legitimately, and if we fail, we fail. That's the fun. Okay, let's start off the way you start everyone off. And that is with a pump. With some form of food. So we want to gather a flag over here. And then we want to get in a couple of lumberjack flags as well, because we want to chop down some trees. We want to have a farm early on. Hopefully, so we can get some food in nice and early before the first drought comes along. Although we have got 10 days. We know we have 10 days. So it's not going to be so bad for that sort of thing. I'm going to put the farm here because we're going to chop down all these trees. And I'm going to put the farm to the lowest construction site area. So that will get chopped down. That will get built last. Let's chop down those trees here. Let's chop down here. Nice, nice, nice. Let's connect up our path. Do for the time being. And let's go. Let's turn up the workers in here. Now, the experimental build brings some interesting changes to this game. It changes, first and foremost, this here is a big change, which is fantastic. Instead of now having to cycle through what you want a farm to do, or any production building to, or any building that harvests or produces multiple things, you have a drop down now. You can just click and go, I want you to do carrots. Job done. And then you can plant or harvest as normal, which is just fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. But the big update it brings is storage. Now, you'll notice in water here, we do not have water storage. We've still got the irrigation tower, which we're just going to forget exists. But there's no storage in here. Instead, we go to the storage tab and you'll see there's new storages in here. There is your small pile, large pile, the underground pile, which is the change that was recently added to the game. The underground warehouse is now considered a pile. You have small, medium and large warehouses. And then you have small, medium and large tanks. Tanks store liquids, not just water. They store any type of liquid. So biofuel, medicine, maple syrup, that sort of stuff. Warehouses store goods. You'll notice up here we've got a few different changes going on here as well. So these store goods. So these will store things like carrots and bread, food type things. And so the piles store production resources. So things like wood and scrap metal. And a few other things. We're going to build a few of them anyway. I don't know why I'm explaining them. Let's just build them and find out, shall we? So let's first almost put in a pile there. Oh, and if I click this here, you'll see it's got a big question mark. We click that, and it can store dirt, metal blocks, planks, scrap metal, treated planks, or logs. Maybe we want to store logs here. Oh. But it can't store berries. Berries have to go in a warehouse. And a warehouse... you've got a small and medium. The small one can store 30 goods, the medium can store 200, the large can store 1,200. All storages now store a single item, which is kind of how I think most people played anyway. But yeah, if you were putting multiple items into your storage, that is gone now. You only store a single item per storage. So I'm going to put in the storage there, set the path to it, and we're going to say, hey you. And store all these things here, so all the production stuff, so all the produced goods, I should say, all the foods, books, golem pieces, gears. Gears are here, planks are in the pile, food types down here, so food. Up here we've got a few changes as well. We have materials, which are things that are stored in the piles generally, wood, scrap metal, that sort of stuff. We have ingredients, which are things that can be used in other production. I do believe that potatoes... Actually, no, there's nothing in here that you can eat raw. Food is actually berries and carrots comes under food. They don't come under... Sorry, sunflower seeds come under food. They don't come under production or ingredients, even though they are used as ingredients in something else. So ingredients are things that beavers don't consume. They are used to make other goods. So, yeah, and then we have food here. And that's a nice little change because in previous playthroughs you'll notice you had one list for everything and the list would end up being down here somewhere because it's so long. So, there's also little bars you'll notice next to it, and these bars indicate how full your current storage is. So we have 143 berries and we're only storing 20. That's because the base starts with berries. Yeah. And this can store up to 20. When we build this, it can store up to 30, so this will change ever so slightly. We're not storing any water, we're not storing any logs, because these are, the logs have been made, so if we mouse over that, it says 1 of 240. Very nice, just a quick visual to show you whether your storages are full or empty or halfway, I like that. It's a nice little quality of life change. Speaking of storage, however, we also want to store in water our water. So the small tank is just the same as the small tank, the medium tank is 300 and the large tank is 1200. You'll be pleased to know the medium tank has changed from being the awkward shape it was to just being square, which is so nice. So nice. So let's put in a tank, and we'll put in a tank, I'm going to put it here because we want this to be more pumps when I'm comes along. So no workers in the district. You should have a priority. You should absolutely have priority. In fact, you should have a very good priority. Otherwise, no beavers are going to get any water. In fact, no beavers are getting water, so that may be a problem. But we're okay. It's only the first day. We should be okay. You are storing logs. You're going to be storing there. You're going to be storing this here. So we have biofuel, catalysts, medicine, maple syrup, or water. We want to do water. Another good change. All storages store nothing by default. So you haven't got to worry about your beavers just coming and filling them up with who knows what. They will instead just sit there and do nothing until you tell them to do things. And you will get an error pop up down here telling you that storage has no setting. You do that. Boom. No good selected. Tells you exactly what's gone wrong with it. So very, very nice. Okay, let's zoom through the day and get some water pumping so our beavers don't seem so thirsty. Okay, so we're up to day 3 and our farm has just been built. Fantastic. Now we want to put down some crops nice and early so that we can actually get food in before everything goes terribly, terribly wrong. So I'm going to build a very big field here, which is probably too much for this farm to deal with, but we want to do that. We want to get loads of food in here. Do that. Let's change this here so that the beavers actually leave the district and go elsewhere. And okay, what else do we need to do? Well, we need to store carrots, so let's build ourselves a medium warehouse. We'll put that opposite side to the log pile. We will set this to be carrots, so we know we're going to get some carrots on here. You will notice the storehouses, oh, not too close, the storehouses are hollow. That poses a problem for anyone who builds the way I build. They no longer transfer power, so you can no longer use storages to transfer power between your production buildings, so you have to run power cable. The large storage is the same. It's hollow. It doesn't transfer storage at all anymore, so transfer power, sorry. So just keep that in mind when you're building now. These do not transfer power through them, which is a little bit of a pain, but that's just the way they've decided to do things. So there's a few other things we need to do as well. We need to give our beavers a bit more well-being. They're not very happy because they don't have any shelter, and we should really fix that because we don't want our beavers dying early. Anyway, we don't want them dying at all, but yeah. So let's build a couple of lodges. Now by power transfer, you'll notice if I do this, you see it says it shares powers with adjacent buildings. It highlights the base. So if we connect them together, do a strip of them, any power coming to the side of the district centre would transfer through all the buildings to wherever we're going. They do not transfer through storages anymore, so you can't use them for that purpose. Which is I'm not sure about that change, but well, we'll just go with it. Okay, let's put in 3 of these. They store 3 beavers each, so that's 3, 6, 9. We have 11 beavers, so let's put another one down. That's 12. We can get some beavers on there. I'm also going to put the path for these up here. And I'm going to do that because we're going to unlock stairs at some point and put beavers' houses on top as well. Speaking of unlocking things, we need to build an inventor. Absolutely need an inventor or several to invent this stuff for us, so we'll get that built as well. We are chopping down lots of trees, so we need to get an inventor going so that we can get the forester so that we can plant more trees, because otherwise we're going to run out. Got quite a few up here as well, so I think we're going to be okay for a while. But okay, let's build the accommodation. And as nighttime falls on day 4, our beavers have somewhere to live. Awesome. We also only have 11 beavers and we have a spare bed, so maybe there'll be a new kit coming along tonight. Who knows? So we also need to keep water going. We don't have the resources to dam across the river just yet. That will probably come after the next one. We need to kind of focus on getting research going, but we can destroy this barrier here and then put in a a dam on the end, although I don't feel like that's flowing high enough to let water get down here behind the dam. We might have to dam across the river first before we can get there. So our first drought may be a proper drought with nothing going on, but we'll be okay. We're going to get at least 2 lots of crops out of this. I'm going to set these to leave on plant for the minute. We'll get 2 lots of crops out of this, I reckon, because it's day 4. They take 3 days to grow, so that's 6 days. We should be good, hopefully. If we could store some water here, it would be beautiful, but I don't know if we can. We don't really have the resources for it. It's 20 logs ago, 10 right now. I think we'll leave it. Let's speed the game up a little bit here. Get some science going. We need some science so that we can build a forester. That's the first thing we'll unlock, is the forester. And the forester can make us can plant trees for us, so that we can harvest more trees and have an infinite supply of trees. As I said, we're good for trees right now because we can drop down all these ones out here, so that won't be a major problem. But you'll go through a lot of trees. Go through a big amount of trees. Let's get ourselves a lumber yard, a power wheel, because we need to power beaver contraptions in the most traditional of beaver powered ways. We can start producing some planks, because we need planks in order to build this. So the plan is coming together. Everything is going absolutely fine. We are halfway through our first drought, our first temperate season. Sorry, we're halfway through the first one. So I think everything is going to be beautiful and wonderful and fantastic. But we'll have to wait and see, because we're going to leave this one here. Yeah, we're going to leave it here. We'll come back next time. We will go through our first drought. We'll see whether it lasts a day or it lasts 3. I think it should go 3, because I believe the minimum season is 3. I may be wrong though. It may just instant go to the next wet season, and it may be that the wet season has to be a minimum of 3. I'm not sure. We'll figure it out when we come to it. So let's let the science pour in. We'll get ourselves enough science to build a forester, and then we will come back and continue on our wonderful 10-100 journey. I have not practiced this. I don't know whether it's going to work or not. It's just something I literally made up. So let's just enjoy the ride and see whether we can have some fun along the way. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this one. I hope to see you again in the next one. And until then, as always, have fun.